What's up, YouTube? It is your boy JB, and we're here today with the review for Sistas Season 3, Episode 20. The episode was titled We Got Time, you guys. So, before we get into this review, if you guys are watching this channel or any other video on the channel and are not yet subscribed, now I need you guys to do me a big, huge favor and stop taking me out on this date and having me pay for it at the end of it. Do me a big favor, like the video, subscribe to the channel, share the video, turn your notifications on. And with that out the way, you guys, without further ado, let's discuss Sistas, shall we? All right, you guys. So let's go ahead and get into this episode. So the episode, we pick up where we left off in the last one, and that was with Karen. So Karen came in and heard Andy talking to, Fatima, telling Fatima if she want to be with Zach to do so. Speaking of which, they have greenlit a series on BT Plus that is going to be about Zach and Fatima. Kind of confused why. Really confused why they're doing that. But hey, congratulations to, Duvall and to Crystal. Congratulations to them. Just kind of confused why they're getting their own spin-off series. But hey, so Karen's being sarcastic, right? Saying that, y'all definitely should be together. So Fatima says, you know what? Let me get up from here and let me go. And Karen says, no, you stay because we need to talk. And Andy says, no, Fatima, you go to your office. No, Andy, she's going to stay so we can talk. Fatima, go to your office. No, Andy, she's going to stay. Now, you can go. So we went back and forth with that, right? And then Fatima's like, you know what? Yeah, let's stay and have a conversation. And Andy's like, oh, no, I don't think this is going to be good. And I was like, Andy, that is something that you and I can both agree on, right? So Karen, she's in her feelings, right? Because, she says, Andy, you're my friend. And you ain't never told me no shit like that before, right? But here you are telling this bitch. And Fatima was like, bitch. Like, she's like, you gonna stop with the bitch word. You a dumb bitch. And Fatima was like, girl, I beat the brakes off your ass, right? And she's like, you know what? I'm sparing. She's like, oh, you sparing me? You sparing me? She said, I'm like, yeah, she's sparing you in that wig. So then we see Karen. So Fatima left, right? So Karen is telling Andy, like, you supposed to be my friend, but you telling her to be with Zach, knowing that I'm still in love with him. And Andy was like, Karen, you broke up with him. And she's like, and he's moved on, so you need to do the same. And she says, so they in love. She says, so he's in love with her, Andy. She says, yes, they're in love that fast. She said, Andy ain't had nothing to say, which I was like, exactly. So this leads me to something that was left in my comments last week about me, kind of showing, I guess it's me showing favoritism, so because someone was talking about the fact that they're saying that I equate Karen to Aaron's wife. I'm not equating Karen to Aaron's wife. I'm just asking what makes the situations different, right? Yes, that was his wife and she cheated on him and he couldn't forgive that, right? But my question is with Aaron, your wife cheated on you. You never went back to her, right? But Karen, you and her are not together. You're not in a relationship. But Karen had sex with Zach in the broom closet, and you asked her to marry her. Asked her to marry you. So explain that part, right? I just don't understand that. And then to answer this question about Zach, I know Zach is not perfect. I never said Zach was perfect. Zach was a fuck up when we met him, right? So I'm not saying that Zach is perfect. He's not. And I'm not team Zach and Fatima. I'm team nobody. Because I don't think that anybody's known each other that long for them to be in love with each other. That includes Karen and Aaron, as well as Zach and Fatima, as well as Calvin and Sabrina, which we will discuss them in a little bit. Like, I just don't think that the only people on this show who we know were in relationships prior to the series starting is Andy and Gary, as well as Karen and Zach. Those are the only people that we know that were in relationships with each other before. So yes, we know that there's love between those couples, but anybody else that's been formed, like someone said in my comments that Fatima's a rebound, so is Aaron. If Fatima's a rebound, Aaron's a rebound, they're both rebounds, right? So yeah, but let's pause here and move forward, right? So we see Fatima. So Fatima went into her office and she called Zach up, right? And Zach told her, "Hey, so I got the call that I can close on that that place that should be that place has been renovated, right? Because that's really what it is. It's been renovated, right? So she tells him, Karen was here. He's like, what did she say? She said she called me all kinds of bitches after she heard me say that I loved you. So he's like, I'm gonna call her up. She's like, no, Zach, don't call up Karen. She's like, stay out of it, leave it alone. So then he says, okay, cool. So they hang up. She says, once again, Zach, don't do anything, don't say anything, right? So when she hangs up, Andy comes into the office and Andy's like, are you okay? She's like, yeah. She's like, I'm so sorry about that, right? I mean, Andy, and now y'all know Andy doesn't have anything to apologize for. It was out of line what Karen did, right? It was really out of line. Like was completely unprofessional. You show up to her job to do some shit like that. That was kind of janky. So we see Karen. So Karen went back to the salon, and Pam was there. So Aaron is here. Wait, what? Yeah, he's been here for a while. So Aaron comes up and he says, are you okay? She says, Karen says she's fine, right? She's like, but what are you doing here? He says, well, I want to come take you to lunch. I told you she had already went to lunch. He says, he just wanted to see her. Oh, that's so sweet. Pam, stop listening. What? She says, go do something. There's nothing to do. There's no customers here. Which really ain't no customers. She says, Pam, go do something. Go stock the closet. She's like, okay. Bye, Aaron. The way she acts is terrible. The way she acts is so terrible. Horrific. So he was like, she was like, I don't even know why I keep her around. I should fire her. He says, she's cute. Thank you, Aaron. Pam. So Pam goes into the closet. She's still ear hustling, by the way, right? So he asks her, are you okay? She says, yes. He says, is there anything that I can do? She says, no, I'm just going to stay here and get some work done. I'm like, what work? There are no customers. Even Pam just said that. There are no customers here. So what work you getting done, right? So he asks her, can he see him? Can he see her later? She says, I'll call you. So then, Pam comes back out. She's behind the desk. And, Karen's like, I'll be back later. Girl, you just got back. Okay. I can kind of see why Isaiah is taking your clients. Just saying. So we're going to pause here and move forward, you guys. All right, guys, let's go over to the bank, right? So we see Maurice. Maurice was helping a customer out, and then he finished, and his phone rings, and it's Q, right? So Q was saying he was thinking about Maurice. Maurice, you stayed on that phone a little bit too long for me. Like, I would have hung up in Q's face. When he said it's Q, I would say, click, goodbye, talk to Daltisha. No. So he says, come down here and tell me what you're thinking about me. He says, no. So then Q tells him he's going to turn himself in, and, he asked Maurice to come with him. I was like, okay. So then Sabrina comes out. She's like, Maurice, you have to get off of your phone. And he says, so Q, Q told him he'll be dead. So why will you be dead, son, Q? So Q says it's because of the drugs and the way he treats people, right? And he says, nobody has been as good to me as you have, Maurice. So at one point, Sabrina says, put it on speakerphone. So he put it on speakerphone. So he asked him to take him to the police station. He says, can you take me down there? I would have been like, absolutely, hell no. So Maurice said, I'll meet you at the police station. He's like, which one where's the closest one? So Maurice tells him where one closest. So he's like, okay, I'll meet you there. So then we see Calvin at the airport with this half-tucked shirt. I mean, this side is tucked in. This side is hanging out. I was like, that is not a look, is it? Is it? So he's on the phone with Sabrina. Telling Sabrina he's going down to Florida to check on his dad, who's not doing too well. I thought his dads both lived in Atlanta, because they frequent the bar that Maurice goes to. So when did his dad go to Florida? I'm confused. When did his dad go to Florida? Whatever. I don't have time. So he goes to check in, right? And lo and behold, he's at Danny's check-in counter, right? So she checks him in, and then he goes and sits down. Then he gets up and says, Danny, what's your issue with me? She says, it's Daniela, and I don't have an issue with you. I'm at work. So then he's like, what is with this? So she says, you know what? I'm trying to keep my I'm trying to keep my cool, nigga. So basically, he asked her, she says, my issue with you is that, it's not that I don't like you. I just don't like you for my friend because I think you're in a closet. He says, well, I'm not, right? And, he tells her he's just being him, basically. So then he's telling her the fact that he loves her friend. I'm like, oh my God, here we go with this love word again. You guys don't know each other that well to be in love with each other like that. But hey, I don't know, but who he in love with Sabrina. He in love with Sabrina. But he wants to blame everything on, he wants to say that Danny is the one that gets in Sabrina's head. Sabrina comes to her with this shit. So I don't really see it that way, but hey, if you do, whatever. So we're gonna pause here and move forward, guys. So we see Maurice. So Maurice is at the police station, right? He's waiting on Q, and Sabrina calls him. She's like, "Where are you, Maurice?" He says, "At the station." She says, "Are you there?" He says, "Yes." She says, "Is Q there?" He says, "No." He says, "But I'll wait another 5 minutes for him." She says, "Did you know that Calvin was going to Florida, going to see his dad?" He said, "Yes." She says, "Well, do you think that he knew that?" And which what Sabrina said made absolutely no sense to me, because she's saying, does he think that somehow Q knew that, and Q is robbing him? How do we get to that point? The only way he would know that is if he was staking the place out, right? But Sabrina never said that. But hey, so he was like, "No, I don't think so." But then he hung up that phone and he got the hell out of Dodge, right? So then we move back over to the law office, right? So Robin goes into Andy's office, and Andy and I both had the same question. I thought you were gone. He says, "No," right? So he said he came there to check on Andy to make sure she's good. She says, "I'm fine," right? He said he had a good time, and she says it was okay. He asked her, does she have any guilt? And she said she has some. So then he asked her, has she done that kind of thing before? She says no, and she doesn't think that she ever will do it again, right? So he got up, he left, right? So then Fatima came in and says, Gary is here. She said, did he see me was he watching me the entire time? She said he was. Andy, I don't know why you care, but hey. So then Andy goes and talks to him, right? So he tells her that the woman that he called in last week's episode was not a woman that he was cheating with, that it is Jenna from the spa. She said the old lady. He was like, yeah. He's like, you can call her if you want to. She says, I don't need to call her Gary because I don't care. He says, you don't believe me. She says, I don't care. So he asked her, can they talk over dinner? She says, no, we cannot talk over dinner. She says, I thought you were moving out. Have you got your stuff out? I was like, about time somebody mentioned the fact that Gary said he was going to move out, and he's still in Andy's place, right? He says, well, I'll wait for you when you get home. She says, no, I want you to get your shit and get out of my apartment, right? He says, well, if I move my stuff out, you won't ever get the chance to ask me to come back. Bye, Gary. We won't miss you. That's one thing. Like, I'm still so I'm going back to this comment from last week. You guys do realize the one character that I come down the hardest, the two characters that I come down the hardest on is Andy and Gary. Those two. Come down hard on those two. Just saying. But yeah. So right. All right, you guys. So we move over and we see Danny. So Danny, she's calling Sabrina, who's still at work, right? And she tells her that, Calvin came down there and he, read me something good, something real nice, nasty, right? And, she tells her what he said, right? And Sabrina's like, he said that? She was like, yes. And she says, well, Danny, your comments do kind of make me look at him sideways. No, they don't. You've been looking at that man sideways since you first saw him in them panties. You've been looking at him sideways since he put that dildo up his butt. Like, you've been looking at him sideways, and you just go to your friends for affirmation. So we're not going to sit here and play this game of putting it on Danny. Miss me with the bullshit, Sabrina. Miss me with that. But, Danny says that, what, hey, if you like it, I'm going to support you getting to the point of pegging him, basically, right? So then we see Maurice, right? So Maurice gets home to his apartment. He better not touch my good wigs. So he goes into the house, and who is sitting there on the couch? It's Q. So Maurice said, how did you get into my apartment? He says, you better not have a key. How in the hell did Q get a key to this man's apartment? Q goes into his pockets, hands Maurice the key. I was like, I know you lying. So Maurice calls the cops. He says, I'm not going anywhere. Oh, God. So then we move over to the salon, right? So Karen is in her office, and Zach comes in. He asks Pam, where's Karen? Hey, Zach. Where's Karen? I said, hey, Zach. Hey, Karen. Hey, Pam. Where's Karen? She's in her office. So he goes in there. He asks Karen, what are you doing, right? Like, what you doing going at Fatima? And she says, I was mad. He says, what are you mad about? Because we're over. She says, she says to him, are we really over, Zach? Are we really over? She says, because I've never seen you be this mean to me. Karen, I don't even know what to say to Karen at this point, right? I really don't. Because, I mean, I really don't know what to say to Karen. I really don't know what to say to Karen. I don't know what to say to her. But, he said it's over between them. He says he does love her, but, it can't be, right? And she says, do you love Fatima more than me? And he tells her, he never said yes or no. So there's still a chance. So then, he tells her the reason that he says Fatima uplifts him. She encourages him. She said, Zach, I was there for you when you were in and out of jail. You said hurtful things to me. I gave you money. He says, that's not what I'm talking about, Karen. And then, he brought up the fact that, especially when Karen thought that he was the one that took that money from her, right? He was, taking money from her. And especially when a girl showed up to the airport with his grandfather's belongings. Now that was low. But, I'm like, there's still something there between those two. They won't say it. More specifically, he won't say it. Zach won't say it. He'll say he loves her, but he won't say Zach is visibly still in love with Karen. And then the way that they were crying, I'm like, yeah, there's still feelings there. I'm like, Fatima, I would run. Because this man is going to hurt you. I just feel like he's going to hurt you. Ooh. Y'all gonna get mad at me with this comment, but hey. Y'all gonna get mad at me, but I gotta say it. So at the end of the episode, Karen said that she told Zach that she's pregnant. So you guys are gonna get mad, and I'm okay with that. Who's the baby's father? No shade, no tea. Because Karen, you've actually been with Zach and with Aaron at this point. You've been with both of them. You've been with both Zach and Aaron. I don't know if Todd remembers that. He wrote that in the script, but Karen has had sex with Aaron. Because that is why Aaron is asking her to marry him. This is going to be an interesting one. But that's it, you guys. Leave your comments in the comment section below. Subscribe to the channel, like the video, and share the video. And until the next week, guys, stay safe out there. Take care of yourselves. Remember to wash your hands, wear a mask, socially distance, be blessed. And I'm going to catch you guys in the next one. So Queens is going to be a little bit late. Sorry, you guys, because I actually just got an email yesterday that I have an interview today. So Queens is going to be late, you guys. Well, at this point, you guys will see it on Friday. Hopefully. But that's it, you guys. I'll see you guys later.